And now we return to Marvin Miller with today's Almanac.
As we move along through April, the number of tornadoes reported keeps increasing week by week. However, the chances are always remote that this tornado season will approach the dimensions of 1957, when as many as 250 twisters were in action in 1 week. 1,600 twisters and funnel clouds were reported during 1957. No other tornado season in U.S. history has approached that one. Even in places where they are most common, tornadoes are exceptional weather and may not be encountered during a lifetime. When they come, they are noted for the most freakish behavior of any form of weather. Often a tornado's destruction of a building comes about through an explosion of the structure rather than through the force of the wind. When a tornado funnel passes over a house, a partial vacuum is created outside. The air pressure inside may suddenly become 4 or 5 pounds greater per square inch than outside. This means that walls, windows, ceilings, and roofs are suddenly subjected to an outward thrust amounting to 600 to 700 pounds to the square foot, more than 2 tons to the square yard. Throughout a typical small house, perhaps 1,000 tons of this outward pressure is exerted under the tornado funnel. Hence, the structure explodes, its pieces carried away on the wind. Buildings and homes that are tightly closed are vulnerable to this kind of tornado destruction. With windows and doors opened, air pressure inside and out can equalize swiftly, and the explosion hazard disappears. There still remains the danger, though, that tornado winds may destroy on their own without any explosion effect. Years ago in Missouri and Oklahoma, it was noted that tornadoes were always destroying churches, but they hardly ever harmed the more numerous saloons. Pious folk puzzled over this for years, and some took it as proof that tornadoes were the work of the devil. But finally, the mechanics of the tornado funnel were understood. The churches were tightly closed most of the time, and were therefore vulnerable to this explosive effect of a tornado. But the saloons escaped, inasmuch as their swinging doors permitted rapid adjustment of air pressure inside and out. And when the churches took to leaving the windows open in tornado season, they lost their status as the prime target of the tornado. In fact, they became as safe as the saloons. The wind velocity around the edges of the tornado funnel are estimated in the area of 500 to 600 miles an hour, and the vacuum created inside can pick up and carry away all manner of things. There have been thirsty twisters, which have taken away all the water from open wells. People, as well as horses, cows, and other farm animals, have been carried away. Automobiles have been lifted and moved as much as 900 feet. Heavy bridges have been lifted and moved off their piers. And one gigantic twister is credited with picking up a railroad mail car, disconnecting it from the locomotive tender, and blowing it clear off the track. Yet we live our lives with many hazards more dangerous than tornadoes. Measles, for instance.